Welcome back to Timberborn and our new Diarma playthrough. So if you remember in the last one, if you did watch it, we've got these different ways of holding the bakeries. I theoretically only need 2, but I've decided that I'm going to have more, because obviously more beats less, as we all know. And it's good to have a few more than having a few less. Let's, I clearly forgot to put that in there. So we'll put that in there. We're on a drought again. Now, we did have a slight problem here where I caused a bit of a problem last time, but I fixed that by taking them back out again. This was to do with this level. This level set to, it needs to be set to this 1. Well, it's 0.9 really, but I might get away with a bit more. It's not too bad in here where we only get 7. You know, we only get 7 days. It should be okay with the amount of the water that's in there. If it needs to be about 9.5, as long as it's not too high, because we don't want it to flood, and that's the Achilles heel. It may need to be slightly more. I don't know whether the plants, I think, have to be on the top. I think that's the thing here. Anyway, and bakeries are well, they'll all be baking eventually. Now, I did unfortunately have to add a few more adults because we were running a little low. We have sorted them, but obviously, if I turn on, let's say, the mine, or I turn on any of these, then this just plummets. The vacancies just go to, you know, too high. So that's the way that goes. I've got I'm trying to think what I've got in here now. This is sunflower. This will be, well, it looks as if it's not wanting to play ball. So we'll, although saying that though, I've got carrots set on, and that's probably the reason why. So it doesn't really matter. We'll demolish all that. We've got the ones down there, and we'll set that to. I know it's food, but hey, food isn't the issue so far in this playthrough. The way I'm doing it now, obviously, I've only got, as I add in obviously more, I've only got 139. Not the biggest playthrough so far that I've had of the amount of beavers. This probably could go. In fact, I don't see why it can't, because it doesn't seem to be doing anything. So, and the worst comes to worst, I can always rebuild it again. So we'll get that taken out. We've just now got to decide, if you remember rightly, I started building this, well, semi-monstrosity, but it's still taking its time to get going, shall we say. This is because it's very difficult to get to, and they are still building, as you can see, they're still building this, so hopefully I've got an option to take that down once this is built. And this has to be kept, obviously, because of the mine, and obviously we've got the bad water, but the bad, you know, we're going around all this, so that's not too bad. I did have the dirt back on because of I obviously did certain things, but I'm not too sure how much more of these certain cliff faces I actually need. I think this is actually going down. These two are actually going right down to the bottom. This one is. Probably should have had this one going down and not that one. But we'll solve that one. Don't think it's that one actually. I think it's supposed to be this one. So let's. The trouble is, if I blast this, they cannot get through. So I'm gonna have to be careful because they can't get to the top. This is the only one until this gets finished. This is the only one that allows them to go up to the top. And obviously I've got to get rid of some of this, and obviously I've got these extra that's not on, extra metal blocks. I'm just obviously waiting for that to get done. Let's fast forward this. As I said, with this there was a couple of options I could have done. I could have wound it round the top of here, fed it down and wound it so you wouldn't see it down here. But I decided to do this way. But there was obviously, you know, come round the back here. I mean, you could have almost gone under the bottom. But obviously you could take that out because it's at the back marker, but you couldn't take this full out, you see. You'd have had to swap something out to hold that up. So, but that will be sorted. It to me, it's fine. I don't need to change that at all. We've got obviously tons of carrots. Now if I want to change to something else, what have we got? We got some done. With everything is done. What we've got here, all the options on the farms are done. Now obviously I'm going to adjust this to a certain degree. Again, I'm not too sure whether I'm going to move this. This is what I said last time, that I was a bit worried if I move this and goof it up, they will stand around and look, well, slightly don't know what to do. There's a better word. We have now got this running, so theoretically, this should technically be fine. I'm just going to go down. That's the same as that. Again, this has to be like that, but this has got to be to the outside. So this, yeah. So this has got to be this one as well. So I'm going to blast both these down. The reason why is obviously I want to get this over like this one, but I want it to be in that just to here. I don't think, well, I don't really need it to any longer. I don't know. I don't even know whether I actually need it all this because of the center pillar can go around the mall. But we'll do that in a minute. Let's now. Yeah, they're not complaining that they can't get up there. I don't think. Well, in this sense of how I've done it, sort of thing. The slight advantage of this is at least this isn't in the way. I'll transport it to this level to make it the same. I think it's there. Yeah, that's fine. And then eventually, once this is accomplished, I can. I'll also put the path in there. Although we did find out like last time, they decided they wanted to walk on there. Normally they don't if there's no path. So we've connected this one up. We've connected this one up. I am definitely not moving any of these for sure, because we're relatively full logs. And I've also obviously got this through, and I cannot take that out, and I can't do anything. Well, Actually, I don't think that's true. What I could do is put a couple of helper blocks up to there, and then take out this, and then delete the blow up the helper blocks, and I think it would work. But that's by the by. Now this is obviously working a little bit different. This because obviously this has stopped. Now it's already started working again, so that's okay. We can fill this in now. And we've still got 180 odd. This here may not be needed anymore. Not quite sure what I've got that in for, so I'm going to get rid of that. No storage. That sounds about right. Yeah, I'm not quite sure why I've got this running. Although it does slightly make sort of sense because there's absolutely no way that I can get to this level through this. That's not true. I can do it obviously through gear, but if I take this out, this is what I'm meaning. Because if I normally had a block there, that would be it. This wouldn't be able to be, you wouldn't be able to walk around because obviously you'd be using the block to walk up and go into there without this block. So there is that problem. It can be easily solved. That's not a problem. I am questioning that I don't think I need this anymore. And I will question is what the hell did I have it there for in the first place? Because I have no idea. Oh, it's probably used for some sort of anchor to be able to go up there from this section here, possibly. They're complaining the water's the issue here. I'll try and increase it. We are down to 67. We've got 3 days left. I'll just keep getting rid of this because I don't need it. And it just makes it nice and, it makes the two sides as one. But if I want to get up to there without, because they can't get round, I can do one of these but do it on the flat. Just take that. I think I can take this single block out and add this single block in. We'll see. Obviously, I'm waiting for this to get finished, and then I can take out this line here. So all of them are doing what I need them to do. Either this one here, this one's already been, we've already sort of done this one from the center. Again, I could have had a double line here, but why have a double line? What's it going to achieve? Absolutely nothing. Not in this context anyway. Let's plan out the. Let's plan this out then. This shouldn't be actually too difficult in a lot of respects to just plan out. I need to have. Now this is where this problem starts. Unless I get them to walk on this line here, then it's not a problem. Because they can't get over there. Let's just humour our blocking system for now. And let's just put that. I don't think... No, let's... Just, if I do this, just let's do it. And see what it does. Does it delete anything else if I set this to delete? Hopefully not, and vice versa on here as well. That needs a line, that would be lined through. just like the other one. Oh, I happen to have got a couple of layers there for some reason. Well, there we go. Didn't even notice them. Easy done. We'll see how they're obviously getting through here. Right, if I delete, see what I mean? Yes, it's deleted all that. Now that's the problem. I was well, hopefully not going to have. I think if I delete this, yes. So we can't have it like that. It's impossible to. It's impossible to not have a either I have to have the ladder. Where the hell's the ladder gone? No, that's not ladder. Why would that ladder? Like a ladder here and a ladder here. This will obviously allow them to do what they need to do, I think. Yeah, they are coming up from there. And then you're going to fill this in. And basically, that allows me the line. Although I'm terribly annoyed that that's there. But this is why I was thinking of moving it. But then I was a bit worried about moving, because you could only, like I said, like I said last time, you could only have one of these in your entire, in a single district. You can have another one in a different district, but there's no way we can have two districts in here. It would, it'd be, yeah, interesting. I've still got a couple of 100 planks left. Not that many, but there's nothing I can do until we get some water coming through. I could change the dirt one to something else. I don't know what I've got here. This is planks, apparently. Which means one of these could not go. I'm thinking, oh. Some of this will have to go. This plank, this actually might as well be empty. And the reason why is because that's going to be flooded anyway, and that's going to be taken down because we're going to be redoing that. That needs to be emptied as well. This needs... don't know where that's going to go. Oh, that's a bit of a problem. I have turned off... I've definitely turned off logging, but I have turned off the... Yes. There's no logging whatsoever. Although that's logging, but that shouldn't be logging this. Right, we're back running again, thank God. That now can go. I need to get, like I said, I need to get rid of this, so it makes sense to do it now. This has not got rid of everything. Is this because this is now full? Just about. But we'll, don't worry, we'll put that to the test. That's, I think, a 4. So we'll get rid of that. Now you can see, now they can walk up. That's not the worst idea. Not the greatest, but still not the worst. That can go. Don't know where all this is going to go. The obviously the slight issue there is we can't obviously get ourselves up on these blocks, so we can do that, and I think we should do that on here just for continuity purposes. It sort of makes all of them look the same then. And if we need down here, because this will get in the way, don't understand what I've got a ladder there for. I have no idea why there's a ladder there. Doesn't make any sense whatsoever. No storage for planks. Typical. I can solve that one by putting that on there, actually. I can't get underground because it's not going to work. But I can do planks again and get that being built. And then I'll shove all the rest of the planks that are there in there. Let's make sure that that's on empty. Sometimes I wish there was a button. Yeah, it is. Oh, well, it's on empty now, so that goes as well. Too far? What's too far? Oh, the path. There is now, so it'll pick all that up as well. There's quite a few there. I didn't realise that was there. So how are we doing with our... well, it's getting there. We've got one more of these to put in. And then we can start thinking about this debacle. Now, I did say that it would be possible to put, you know, things like this in, as you can see here. Well, I could have another one there if I really wanted to. Just to flatten this out. Now, well, I've got the, you know, I've got the... The only issue is how the hell am I going to get there to get it done? That would sit on here. Like so. That's going to be an exact height. Now, that can be built, because it could be built from this ladder. If I decided to put the ladder... Well, that's... It's still a bit annoying. I wonder if I can get out... I wonder if I can have a cunning plan. If I was to do this, and then get one of them, they would be able to do that without me fiddling about. So we'll do that. That'll do. And then I might as well use the metal for something. Obviously, I'm going to use the metal to do the little things and whatever else I was going to do. So that's fine. It may be all metalled. I don't know yet. So hold this space. The only disadvantages with metal in them is the piping work. Obviously you can't have... See here, I could have, let's say, one of these in, and then have a 2 on top. And then send the pipe through. Now that's something I'm going to have to deal with potentially quickly. It depends on... The thing is power... It doesn't... The only one that really needs, as far as I'm aware, the only one that needs to be connected in the dots or not underneath is the centrifuge, I think. That tends to only work if it's next to the building or on these little dots. You can't do it underneath, or as far as it doesn't work underneath. I don't know why, but it is what it is. Oh, thank you very much. How would that blow up that, I wonder? Oh. Well, that's slightly annoying. Well, that's more than slightly annoying. That's just really flipping annoying. Why in the history of the world does that do that? I wonder. What the hell? Can't be that. That would be this block here. Oh, this block here has absolutely no... This one needs to go. It needs this to be able to... That's going to be an interesting... Can they actually get to that? Yes, they can. But can they... can they actually get... Now, they won't be able to get this in, but can they get a ladder in here and actually walk up that ladder, which they will then should, because it's, they should be able to reach that without me having to take this line of oaks out. Potentially. I don't know. I think that's the problem. In fact, I'm certain that's the problem. So that's what we're going to fix in this little thing here. I obviously didn't know that. It's really weird. It needs the full thing, because that is 3, and that's not... That's 7. But because that there would be 3, that there would be 3, this is already 3. That should be fine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Yeah, and then there's the block. But the block has to be... It can't be... It needs to be a full grounded block, not just a floaty ground block, or whatever the hell you want to call it. Yes. Now, it's built that. That's fine. No problem with that. No exact problem with this either. But like I said, I either transfer power... It's how am I going to transfer power and where do I want everything? Now that's... I don't need a lot anymore. You know, whether I want an explosive there, whether I want a smelter up there, what do I really want up there is the question before, you know, we're not going to even have any dirt excavators up there. It would probably be nice to have some storage at the now. You can only get one storage as well, so maybe the storage is a question mark that we have to solve by solving it somewhere else. Now, I've obviously got this. This could be taken out and just have these two because we're not really going to want. Maybe not. Don't even have any bad water. We don't need bad water if you like. Is this done? Let's just have a skeg at this. Right, this has done without me having to take out an entire row of trees. Not that I really give a hoot toot room. No storage, get rid of that. Okay. Now, is this going to solve itself? I don't know. There we go. So, if you're ever having a problem, make sure that you grab, like here, if you're trying to do something like this, make sure that you always have, it looks grounded because it's here, but that's not how the developers have done it. It needs to be grounded as in the square ground. This needs to be right on the bottom, like there on the bottom, and if that's done, you should have no problem whatsoever. I think I can plant a tree. We like to plant trees. Tree is the oaks. Go and plant the tree, dear Lord. Dear Liza. Right, that's old thing. So now that looks spiffingly nice. Now, this shouldn't have the same problem. Apart from being able to get round. But we are going to dump these anyway. Not decided where I'm dumping them yet. I suppose in a way, they can still get around this line here. So I could, for now, Fallen Post Builders, just, let's say I want to do that. Just do 4 of them, that'll do. Because I can get rid of that one that's in here as well. That needs to go. Obviously, because this is the bottom is going to be the potatoes. Our potato rack. Which will be, I can't remember if I had it. Yeah, it's just north of that, isn't it? So it's actually here. Then we'll rotate, we'll flip that way. So that's that one. That means it's this one here. Now, obviously, these need to be moved as well. Now, I haven't quite decided where they should be. Probably just right next to it, really, isn't it? It's not as if it's not as if it's rocket science, is it? I mean, they're obviously right next to that, for the chestnuts. But it would make sense. No, it's not a grist mill. It's just a grill. We don't particularly like that, but we don't really have much of a choice about where we're going to put this thing. We could flip that. Yeah, it wouldn't really make much of a difference. It was just about aesthetics. This is on this side of the thing. This is on this side. But no, I don't like that because that means this is on this here. This isn't on this here. This is the thing about this game. You get a bit, don't like that. Don't like that. Even though it technically doesn't make any difference whatsoever. I know some people wouldn't care. That, once this is in, these two can come down. Then we... Ooh, that's a bit of a problem, isn't it? That's a definite problem because I can't put the second one where I want to put it. Here. That's a big problem. We could... We know that if I blast this out here, I don't think it'd be a problem. Let's just... Because I'm looking at this 4 and I'm looking at that. Well, it's actually the other way around, isn't it? It's this here. Not that. But that would... If I did that too, took out this, that would be the 2. This, it would be this. I thought I won't take out the back one. I know some of this is going to have to be got rid of. But, you know, what the hell. We've got chestnuts for days. Somewhere. I know I've got chestnuts for days. Well, I have got... No, that's raw. That's process, isn't it? I know it's here somewhere. Oh, in fact, I'm not storing any chestnuts anywhere. Oh, well, there you go. Well, there you go. So we are progressing. Progression is coming on. Right, I can ditch this one, I can ditch this one, and I can ditch this one. Because we've got the 4 here. I'll make sure that they are filled. Because then we'll be saying, why is something not building? What the hell is going on? No storage for anything, as usual. Because I've got no storage, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to turn these off. What is the point of building, making it, if I can't actually store the stuff that I've already got? Hold on, Pink. Good idea, that is. Right. I'm still unsure as to what the hell am I, or how the hell I'm going to do this. Now, there's no... The problem is, there is no... See, that wouldn't work either. Yeah, well, it would work, actually. No, it wouldn't. Sorry, I'm just... I'm countermanding myself here. I'm just trying to decide where all this... Do I just roll with it and see... And just figure... I mean, I don't need that much. It's got to be done. We've got to do it in the next... Well, this playthrough, really. Decide where everything is, and then I can set the power. I just the problem is, if the power is not underneath, the problem is the walking. Is you can't... Now, in theoretical terms... Now, I'm saying this in theoretical terms, is I'm going to do it down here because I don't want it to be built. But if you did a line of, well, if you did a line of these, they are still blocks, but they are also power blocks. So there is that question, which may fit better. And the reason why I'm saying that is if this is one less, which is this here, so this comes down, we get rid of this. This comes down. Let's just try. If you get try to, although I understand I'm sort of talking to myself, but this now. This block here, it's open as well, so it'll allow it'll allow water to go. That's another thing you see. I can't block it off with any landscaping or anything like that. That's another problem. I was just thinking, I don't know whether this is true, but maybe in certain, say, factory situations where you don't know where you want your right, you don't know where you're on your item. Oh, in some respects, a bit like Lego, but not like Lego. You have your building block, and imagine the little circles at the top where you pull it out and put it somewhere else, but it doesn't matter. It all interconnects. That's the principal idea that I'm looking for here. In other words, I just basically say, stuff it. I'll just do a load of planks at the top, a load of planks in the, like a load of these to the top, and then basically start putting the circle thing on. Because if the centrifuge, if we say for an example, if the centrifuge doesn't power from underneath, for an example, I think it will, but let's just humour me here. Can they walk on them though? I think they can. I think they can walk on them as well. That's another thing. If they can't walk on them, then you've just douched yourself, haven't you? That's the sort of another question that I'm asking myself. Can they actually walk on them? I don't really know. Do I just take the plunge and have a go? Yeah, let's have a go. So we need to do this up to this point, like we see here. Then we'll put these on. So in a sense, it can connect anywhere on that point. It doesn't really matter because it doesn't really care, does it? It's just an idea. Now, like I said, I don't know whether it'll work. There's a massive advantage to that for obvious reasons. It means that I know that there's a hell of a lot of planks, but it's just an idea. This is the whole point of this game. You do strange, wacky ideas. Well, you see, they're all going to interlink with each other. It's a bit like what you would have also like over in the ceiling, you know what I mean? Where you'd have that sort of thing. It looks really weird, but let me just build this. There's a good question. Is one, will they walk on that? Because I have no idea. And obviously I need to leave this in. This also would be able to be done. What I'll do is I'll get some sort of building. It doesn't really matter which one it is, as long as it's something over it. Now, the only slight disadvantage is, well, I suppose it's not, because I could, whenever I want it, I could always take out the ones that I don't want, as long as they've got a link through. Interesting idea, Piggy. Obviously that one, and we've found out that these aren't watertight either. They will allow water to flow through, because it did that in earlier this play where I had it over, I think it was here, and I was assuming that was watertight, but it's not. It basically allowed, and in this instance, it's actually an advantage. Now you see where the linking comes. It theoretically should not make any difference where I put this thing. It will just power it. Now we're gonna know. I'm gonna know when it does this one here. I just thought of the idea. So I love this game because you can think of all sorts of weird ideas that other people may have thought of or may haven't thought. Ooh, I didn't think of that. That was a good idea. You know, I mean, I have sort of got it there. The problem being in this one here is it would have to go down by... It would have to go down by... this layer would have to be taken off. Then I'd have to put a 2. Because then I'd have to put the iron things over the top. And then it would allow that. Because I've got to have one less. But until I get this in... they'll all interlink with each other. So in theoretical terms, it should work. Now, the only problem is this is right next to it. So, let's do that. We'll have to get rid of that. I don't want, what I want is, I don't want to be close to this. Because if I power, for an example, I've just realised that if I power, whoops, don't want that, I'll be butting up to this. Now this will work, because it's taking it from here. I want to take it from this bottom. The bottom, not the top. So again, we'll do this. Come on. Up to here, I believe. In fact, actually, that could work out a lot better in the sense of if I go round, I can take that out. I can get to this. That's what it'll be about to get rid of that, does it? I can get to this by just by walking around the back, you know, walking around. Because if I've got to get, I've got to do this, which is bonkers, I know. It's absolutely a bonkers idea, but I like bonkers ideas. Bonkers. And then theoretically, we should be able to put this anywhere. Now, like I said, I don't know whether they can walk on it. But we'll find out before I go over the top and start absolutely... I'm going to have to obviously turn the planks back on because the planks are going to get absolutely mortaled. In fact, I think the planks have already got mortaled, I think. I think I've just run out of them. I have. Did I say... I have loads of planks. I don't need any. Yeah, right. Okay, Piggy. But we can help ourselves by putting this one on there as well. It makes sense. But I'll just... yeah, this section here is the only one that's going to be... Although I'm not quite sure... Oh, no, that's fine. The only section that's going to be in the... Get the hell this done, please. Section. I don't know what it would be. Would it be a power grid? Power, yeah, you call it a power grid. Something like that. Anyway, let me know what you think about that. We'll see if it works. We've got about 10 minutes to try and see how this is going to work. But that would help all this. Doesn't really matter then where I put it, as long as I can get it in. And as long as they can get out, and you could turn them things on the outside, and do it that way. This, as I said, I think needs to go now. Yes, that needs to come out. Go back to there. That can then have its thing done. They're complaining they can't get to it, but that's solved in about 2 seconds. There we go. The slight advantage of this is that I don't need metal. Wood is easier to produce than metal, and I've produced all this metal, and then maybe I don't need it. Damn. But then I didn't think of this idea, did I? Yeah, so I'm going to do it, once this is done, I'm going to do another row of, well, I can just put them in, can I? These. Oh, well, I'll do, no, I can turn it, it doesn't, well, that actually would be an advantage by doing that. And the reason why is because I don't care whether it's a lumberjack, as long as it's a power thing. As you can see here, I bet you this will not allow me to have a path. Oh, yes, it does. Interesting. I want to know that that's going to power. It takes planks for long. See, this may not power. It theoretically should, although saying that though, it's probably not powering because we are in a drought anyway, which means this isn't moving, which means we're not generating any power from this, which means this isn't powering anyway. But we'll see if that works. That way, and the reason why is, like I said, is, well, this isn't fully built anyway, so this isn't going to fully work yet anyway, but that means I'm not connected to this little nodule. If I put that up, then it will power it, because obviously it's there. But as long as the power's passing through here, I'll know that this is working before Ava and I go crazy and start building all of this, because we'll know what will happen. It will build all this. I couldn't select it. Yeah, this is the highest we can have because this is the top. We can have any building on top of it, but only one. So it wouldn't matter. It wouldn't matter anyway. I mean, like I said, I think this was actually far too large anyway. It should have been probably been here. It would have been all right with water, and we'd have had a lot more room. And obviously, but it is what it is, and that's what I've got. But I think we're okay. Well, I'm dead sure we're okay. Don't need that anymore. I just need a place to put the logs. For now. Put a storage. Put an underground storage. That's not going to fit in there though, is it? Well, it will in a minute if I do that. It's not ideal, but at least it'll do two things. No, it won't. Oh, that won't work, will it? Yeah. Stupid ass. Because it's a stockpile. It's a underground stockpile, and you can't have that in there. We'll empty that when it can. Most of this might actually be able to come out. It's probably going to send it down that one, which isn't the one I actually wanted to just send it down in the first place anyway, because I don't want it in here either. But because obviously I need to get rid of all of this. Obviously we've got rid of this now. Typical. I get to this stage of wanting to get this thing damn done, and the blooming thing is eluding me. Absolute rubbish. Oh, that's a damn shame. I'll see what I'll do. That will find a place for it to go. Log central, but it needs 40 planks, and we'll get the planks. I don't care about that one. This will allow me to do what I was doing before. This is why I was wanting to do it as well, where I can have a little area here just to go up if I want to, but I haven't decided when I want to. I'm just going to get rid of that now. I want this to be built. Stop fudging and get on with this. Get on with this this. Don't want the logs. Okay. Get the logs. Where's the planks gone then? Why didn't you build that blooming thing? Oh, you shoot. I know why. Because of this thing, isn't it? Oh, for pity's sake. I mean, I could do it on beaver power. No, I can't get down there, so that's going to be a bit of a swizz. Damn crap. But I think this will work though. Can't see why it wouldn't. That needs gears. I've got, well, I am going to need gears as well though, aren't I? So I'm going to have to put these back on. Because there's no way that that's going to be enough. Anyway. It looks like we're having to be dealing with this into the next video. But you can see the idea, the power grid. This then should allow me to, if I can get this working, this will all need, this can go. Now obviously if I'm going to need a dirt excavator, but I don't really need, I don't think I will. I haven't turned one back on again. And then we're on the final stages then. Once I can get this down, once I can get all this down, we can clean up all this. In other words, this needs flattening. So I suppose dirt is going to be needed. So I might need enough dirt. But I'm going to need a place to put the dirt. Which is going to be a problem. I've got a plan. I was thinking if I do these, I can start to build a tower. What I want is basically the one I had down here over there. I know I could get rid of. Well, I'm not really going to get rid of bread, do I? Where? Well, I suppose I could. I could take this down. Get them to not make bread. Awesome idea. Pause this. Empty this out. What's in the bottom? Oh, geese. They're all in the bottom. Oh, that's where all the geese are. Why are the geese there then? Well, that makes sort of sense, I suppose. I could have a stack of planks and a stack of treated planks as well as one of these. By getting rid of this. I've got already this here. This could go for the treated planks, I suppose. I need to get this out of the way. This has got to come out of the way anyway. We have almost less than a day, and we only have a couple of minutes. So let's whiz through this. But yeah, hopefully next video this will be done. Then I can test my idea. Now, obviously, it's already allowed a walkway, which I wasn't too sure, because obviously if this didn't work, what I'd have to do is work out where I want them, take these back out again, and then convert them to one of these. Then they'll be able to walk, which is fine. But the annoying thing in that is how then do you pass the power through? Theoretically, if this works, I will not have any problem with the power. I just need an enormous amount of planks to span this up. There's obviously you can still do the steel. Now obviously I'm going to have to take this down by one, because obviously this would have to be, this here would have to be the, so I can get over that. I could still do the steel thing, because as long as it's one lower and then it's got a steel thing over the top, So that's not bad. So that just, you know, using these here like this, as long as it's one lower when we put this on, it's fine. Because, you know, then I could just plonk them around and it'll fill the in and not have to, like, do tons of them. So I think that's probably a better idea. But I want to know that this is working first, and I'll have to take down what I don't need and then go from there. Obviously, most of this will go apart from the center one, and then I would have to take that back down, put this back on again. Which you could argue the point, why didn't you think it out in the first place? And I'll say, well, I didn't think about it. But I just wanted to know that this was working. That's the reason why. Obviously, this will take a while to fill up. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. We will see you in the next Timberborn, where we where we sort out the idea for the power grid. And take care. We're getting close. We're getting close to the end now. So hopefully soon. Anyway, take care. Bye for now.